Hey everybody, Winstreak here. We are on video 2 of our how to make a game tutorial. Today we'll be talking about how to add a hero sprite, give them platform objective which will allow them to interact kind of like what you'd expect from like Mario. And then we'll add animations so when you're running he actually looks where he's going and his legs move rather than just kind of sliding across the ground. Then we'll add a camera follow system which will allow the map to kind of follow your character around. That way you don't run off the edge of the map and have no idea where you're at. And we will go ahead and start it off. I still have the same Pixel Frog animations, sprites, so I'm just going to hop in here. He has this cool little pink hero, and I'm going to throw him on the screen. From here, I can edit his name to Hero, and I'm going to make him a little bit smaller. I'm thinking 24 by 24, and then just verify that it's still visually appealing. Since we got rid of some sprites there, sometimes it messes it up, but it doesn't look too bad. We can tell what it is. And then we will add 2 animations here. We'll worry about those later. And we'll jump over to behavior. We'll add a new behavior, and we're going to add platform. And this will automatically give us all of the abilities that you'd expect a platformer to have. So you can move left, right, jump. You can double jump if it's selected. And we can edit all the heights and speeds with these properties right down here. And I know I'm going to want this a little bit slower and a little bit lower jump. And I'm going to go ahead and hit play and just see how that feels real quick. And we fit through the gaps and crevices, so that's all good. And then obviously we drop off into nowhere land, so that's why we're going to get that camera follow. But we'll worry about that in a little. I think all the properties were set to a decent amount. We can change those slightly later on as we need to, but for now they're good. And we can move on to animations. So I'm going to hop to this new animation. We're going to set it to idle, or name it as idle. And I'm going to pull my images back up so you can see. Pixel Frog was nice enough to make a sprite sheet with idle, and it looks like there's about 11, 12 things on here. Oop, drag that on the wrong one. I'm going to just Control Z that to get rid of it. You want to drag it down onto the animation frames down below, and we're going to import it from a sprite. And like I was saying, I thought it was 11. They're guessing 11, so we'll see if that works. And it does. So we have 0 through 10. And we're going to have to switch the sizes again. Since we set the first one to 24, we're going to need to set every animation we make to 24 by 24 so it matches. And I want to apply it to the whole animation. So I'm a little smaller now, and he kind of just breathes up and down as he waits. Nothing exciting. And then we'll do run. And this will be for when we're moving left or right. Drag those on the bottom, just like I did with the other one. Import from sprite strip. And I'm going to assume this is right. We'll try it out. And it guessed right for us. And we can see him running, bobbing up and down, and his legs are moving. Alright, we'll close those, and we're going to set his default to idle. And we'll hop into the code, add an event, hero. And actually, let's hop out of here. I want to add keyboard. From the top. Alright, so we are going to check if he is moving, and that'll let us know that he needs to have something other than idle playing. So if he's not moving, we will set his animation to idle. And I'm just going to copy paste this whole thing, remove this invert, and now if he is moving, we're going to set his animation to run. And we can also do a little something extra. So I'll add a blank sub event here 2 times. And we're going to be looking at his max speed, or actually his current speed. And we want to change how fast his animation goes if it goes over a certain amount. So for the first one, we can compare speed, and if it is less than or equal to 200, and we will set speed to, we'll say 5, and then if it's greater than 200, we will set the animation speed to 9. And that'll actually be hard for us to see in here until we can get down to the bottom and start running full speed, but we'll have this in here later and we'll come back and talk to it once we get the camera part added. And now we need to turn. That way when I run to the left, it actually flips my hero character and it looks like they're running in the correct direction. So we will, let's look on keyboard, on key pressed, and we'll do left arrow, and we'll want this again but for right arrow, and then we'll throw down a mirror and a not mirrored. So now we can check this out. We see it running. We got some weird animations happening. We get bigger while we're running. And then there's some little twitters that are happening. But otherwise, we can move left, we can move right, and we do proc that animation. So let's go in and fix the errors that we saw. One of them is going to be easy. Know it right off the bat. We did not set our width and height for the run animation. So that one's fixed, and that actually might fix the bouncing up and down as well, because as it changes sizes, this collision will be growing and shrinking, which makes them kind of bounce off the solid ground here. So let's see if that helped. And it's looking better. We do sink into the ground a little. I don't mind it, but if you want to get rid of it, it's just the thing with collisions. So you can open up and you can see here that the collision is not at the feet of our sprite. So obviously our default is just set up as a big blob, but that's not the one that's playing. It's these guys that we have to worry about. So if you want it to be a little lower, you can just go ahead and set something like that, and then you can right click this and you can apply it to all animations, and that'll cover both run and idle. And we'll drop down, and now we're right up on the top there, so it looks a little better. And now we need to look into getting a camera. So back into our event sheets, and then we will just go ahead and do an every tick, and we'll just scroll that camera towards our hero object. So scroll to object and hero, and now we got a nice follow action. Boop. Alright, and let's see if we can see that animation taking effect. I'm gonna throw in a quick text box, and this will just be our little developer text window. Oop, didn't mean to move everything. And every tick, we're just gonna set that text right now to show us our movement speed. Move speed, and that'll be hero dot platform dot, should be a current move speed. And that was foolish. There we go. So it does take a little bit to get up to max. And I do have to fix this. Obviously, I have a curve in my solid collision check right here. And that I just kind of run into. So that should be an easy fix. We'll hop into my tile map. And it should be this one. That might make it a little smoother. Double check that it's not these ones either. Nope. Alright, let's see if that helps. We still clip those. We're going to set this one a little wider. That way we bump into it with our full side instead of with our bottom. And let's set that to all animations. Let's see if that helps. There we go. But yeah, that's why we're getting stuck. We were able to kind of walk into the wall here, and then as we tried to jump, it would drag our wider bottom up against the wall and count it as a collision and stop us. And then we are going to set this acceleration down very slow so we can clearly see the difference here. I'm going to set max speed to 20 and the slow speed to 2, and that's just going to change how quickly the animations roll through. So we should see our player walk very slowly and the animation show very slow steps until we hit that 200 move speed, and then that should speed up his steps. So nothing and a lot. And that'll be the difference here, but we're going to want this to be hardly noticeable. It's just that extra little finesse that makes it a little more realistic, and then we can move this back up to something that's more realistic. We don't need him to run like he's on glue. And now we have the screen following us, and we have animations. We turn left and right, and that should do it for this video. If you liked it, as always, please make sure you do like and subscribe. Otherwise, I'll see you for the next video when we add some bad guys.